everybody, so it's Monday, that means it's time for Movie Monday, and this week we are talking about comedians that played serious roles. And actually, I don't know, I found it harder to make this list than I would have originally thought. A lot of the ones that people rave about I either haven't seen or didn't really care for that much, so I don't know, interesting situation. But I did come up with 5 that I do like, and so let's go over them. The number 5, these are just 5 I like. They're not really in numerical order. But the first one I want to talk about is Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple. This is before she was like a huge name, big names kind of catapulted her. Of course, Steven Spielberg directed, and it's just a devastating performance. It's a performance that deals with, grief and loss and a past and trying to get beyond that past. And of course, Oprah's in it back when she wasn't Oprah. And so, yeah, if you haven't seen Color Purple, it's devastating. It's hard to watch, but it's definitely a very good film based on the Alice Walker novel. Number 4, I have Steve Carell in The Big Short. I know that he got his Oscar nomination for The Firecatcher. I haven't seen that. But, of course, we all knew him for comedy for so long, for shows like The Office and, movies that he's done. But he definitely has dramatic range. We've seen it. And I think that he actually deserved the Oscar nomination over Christian Bale, in my opinion. I thought that he was the emotional heart of the film. He was the one that did the most growth. He was the one that character changed the most. And he was always just in this sort of precarious spot of about to have a breakdown. And just so devastated at the choices of other people and the lack of integrity that surrounded him. He kept thinking, no way, they're not going to stoop this low, and then they would, and you'd see the devastation on his face. So that is why I pick Steve Carell. My next pick is Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. This movie, I think, could have gone wrong a lot of ways. It's definitely pretty schmaltzy. It's pretty, it's definitely, it is not a new story as far as this inspirational teacher thing. We've seen that a lot. And it definitely goes for the heartstrings with suicide angle and with some of those things. It can get a little melodramatic, but Robin Williams, I think, anchors it, and as well as other good performances by some of the younger actors. But Robin Williams is just so captivating. He's so mesmerizing. He has so much heart in the role. You really do want to stand on your desk and say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." And I haven't been able to watch it since he passed away. I just find, especially with suicide being an element of his passing, it just is so sad to me. I feel so sad about Robin Williams. Even to this day, I know it's just like a celebrity, but I don't know. I just feel so sad about Robin Williams. Because he was just such a light of my childhood, just somebody who was so joyful, and it's so sad. But anyway, it's a great performance. It's a really tearjerker of a movie, and I think it is, in the end, inspirational and a good film. So then my next choice is Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction. I love this movie. I think it is so well written. I think it's such an interesting movie about writing. And he wakes up and he starts hearing a voice narrating his life. And it makes him realize, maybe my life kind of sucks. Maybe my life isn't as good as I thought it was. And I like that whole concept. I think it's really, really interesting. And Emma Thompson, of course, is the voice and also the author, and she's, of course, great. Queen Latifah's good in it. Dustin Hoffman is great as the teacher. I love this movie. I think it is just a movie that's charming as heck, but it also makes you think, and it's about writing and books and literature and story and everything else. So that's why I have it so high. And my number 1 best performance by a comedian in a serious role is Jim Carrey in The Truman Show. And I've loved this movie my whole life. I actually, when I was a teaching assistant in college, and I tried to explain the Plato's allegory of the cave, I would use the Truman Show to sort of explain it. And talk about sort of the philosopher kings projecting images that they know will make the people happy, and And it's the same way, like the director projecting these images for Truman that he thinks will make him happy, but he's not free. And so you get this really thoughtful, really engaging film, but it could come off as kind of plotting, but it doesn't, because Jim Carrey is so good. And he does have some humor and some warmth, but he really creates a compelling character in Truman. You really feel like he is a real person going through this experience. And especially back then when he was just so over the top in all his performances. And so it was a real shocker to see him come out with this movie and do something so different. And I think it still holds up. I still love it. I think Ed Harris is great in it. I think Laura Linney is great in it. I just love it. So, and I think the end, when he finally does break free, it is such a great moment of film. So that's my 5 picks for comedians in serious roles. Let me know what some of your favorites are and what you think of my list. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!